Okay, kicking things off here. 60 frames per second, 3,600 kilobytes. Let's see if I don't see any drop frames. One time I tried doing this stream, I think it was with Kirk, and I kicked it up to 60 frames. Now, I'm playing Gitaroo, man, in case you don't know, and 60 frames is what the game runs in, so I want to make sure you're seeing all the games, all my input, all the good stuff, right? Anyway, so I was playing with Kirk one time, and I think we were trying Gremlin's Gizmo. It was our Christmas stream of last year, and I kicked it up to 60 frames. The game doesn't even run in 60 frames. It runs in 30 sometimes on a good day. And we had done probably 20 minutes of the stream, and we're like looking at it in the feed, and it's just straight up pixels and frame jumps, and then we're roboting the entire time. So I'm not gonna do that. If it gets too crazy, I'll crank it back down to 30 frames, but we're trying 60 frames. I have my webcam. I believe it's a Logitech C920. I've had it for fucking ever. And it does run in 60 frames, so it's certainly held up over time. I'm thinking about upgrading my whole rig. Honestly, I'm kind of satisfied with how my rig is. The only problem is my graphics card. I have a old NVIDIA GeoForce 770, and I believe it's about 4 years old, which is ancient in the computer world, and especially when it comes to editing. So I'm looking to upgrade. I'm probably going to get a 1060 soon. Hopefully before the Halloween special, I'll work something out. I really, really need to, because Vegas has been... My whole PC has just been crashing because of my GPU, so... Working on it. I upgraded the CPU, so now I've got an i7 instead of an i5, and now I'm working on that. Anyway, that's a little update on the technical side of things. What is going on, Rosamil Poo? What is up, Mr. Greedius? He says grab a used 1070 for 220. Yeah, I was looking at either the 1060 or the 1070. They're coming down in price quite a bit, and I always go with NVIDIA cards. Just all I'm used to. They run cooler, and that's important, because I record a lot of dialogue. I try and keep my build as cool as possible, and I don't like to fuck with liquid cooling. There's just too much maintenance with that. Anyway, let me get the word out. I am doing a cool stream today. Very happy to be back in everyone's lives. I guess, without an edited video, just something off the cuff. It's nice. It's today. I should warn you all, it might get a little gross at some point. I decided as a form of punishment, there's a couple of levels in Gitaroo, man. I think it's level 9 and level 10, the last couple ones. When I get to Gregorio the Third, I die a lot. And it could just because I'm playing with an LCD monitor. And Gitaroo, man, is one of those games where input lag matters. It really, really matters. And when you play on an LCD, there is some significant lag. And so your inputs aren't going to be perfect. And Gregorio the Third, he's like the second to last boss, is really, really tough. And it's a long, grueling battle. There's only about, I think it's 10 levels on the PS2 version. 10 stages, yeah. Like the last boss, there's 2 forms. This is my absolute favorite rhythm game. I've played it on stream one time before. I think it's an unlisted stream. Most of them are. But it's been a hot minute since I've played Gitaroo, man. So, as I mentioned, as a form of punishment, if I die at Gregorio the Third, my girlfriend bought me this bag of freeze-dried crabs. They are completely in the shell. Look at the colorful crabs in there. They got all their claws. They got everything in it. I think they've got like a sesame coating on there too. So yes. That'll be my form of punishment. Every time I die, I gotta eat a nasty crab out of this bag. And this bag's been sitting in our house for a month. She bought these last month for me to eat on a stream. And I just haven't had the time. I've been kind of busy working on videos, actually. So yeah, these are considered a cracker. So that they're gonna be crunchy. They're gonna have... I've never eaten a freeze-dried crab. I've had crab before, you know, cooked soft shell crab, claws. I haven't eaten a whole crab before, so that'll be my punishment. I'm not looking forward to it at all, so I'm gonna try and win. I'm gonna try and win. She also got me this hot chicken flavored squid here. Now I do like squid. I've eaten squid. I've eaten tentacles before. I've eaten taco when I was out in Japan. Not tacos, but taco is octopus. And I had that fresh at one of those sushi bars that had like a conveyor belt. And there was a sous chef there who prepared it for us. So it was very, very good. But my girlfriend would not try the taco. I also like takoyaki as well. Squid balls. So yeah, these are the two stream snacks here. Got my kombucha. I've been drinking a lot of this. It's kind of a fermented mushroom drink with apple cider vinegar in there. I have a skin condition called seborrheic dermatitis, and drinking this and taking turmeric has been helping me with my skin, and my skin hasn't been as irritated as it normally gets around this time of the year. So, skin tips with Hikiko. Anyway, let's make sure everyone knows on Twitter before I get this started, just so I could do my due diligence to make sure everyone knows I'm playing my absolute favorite rhythm game, Gitaroo Man. I'm gonna try and not talk as much during when I'm battling, but in between levels I'll definitely talk, and I'll try and explain the synopsis of Gitaroo Man. It's not necessarily the most transparent game in the world. It is a bit cryptic in its narrative, and even after all these years of playing Gitaroo Man, I still can't fully explain what's going on, but I'll do my best. Anyway, let me give a shout out to everyone in the chat that I see here. We got the Lasco Getta. Hey, Mr. Greedius, good to see ya. Frogface, LP Grotus, my man, what's up, man? And I said Rosimula, what's up? Hey, Max, what's up? Hey, yo. So, yeah, Crab Stream, in case you're just tuning in, Crab Stream. If I lose, I have to open up and eat a crab. I don't know. I just had to spice it up a little bit. Okay, so I got my headphones on. This is connected to that Sony 3D monitor that you saw before. If you watch my ICO video. So here's my layout. I got a little background. See, my logo's over here. You can barely read it. But I do have this in 4:3 aspect ratio. It's in 60 frames. It's looking great on the stream. How's that sound level? I can turn it up. This is really going to be something where I'm going to try and be quiet because it's a music game. And you should enjoy the music. It's Coil. Coil did the soundtrack for this. If you guys watch my latest video, Big Dudes, the intro theme is from Gitaroo Man. I just kind of threw it in there because I love Gitaroo Man. Thank you, Chamuko. You love the Big Dudes. I'm glad you love Big Dudes. I love Big Dudes too. I'm happy with how that turned out. I didn't know how people would like it. I ramble enough as it is. Okay, guys. Here we are, Gitaroo Man. I'm gonna skip the tutorial level. But I'll try and explain what's going on here. We'll do a little story synopsis. So our protagonist, his name is U1. He's just kind of like an average kid who likes to skateboard and play guitar. That's about it. That's his dog. His dog is a robot, and his skin turns into a guitar the Gitaroo, and his dog's from this planet called Planet Gitaroo, which is under attack, and U1 becomes Gitaroo Man because his dog rips off his own skin, throws it at U1, which turns him into the Gitaroo, which the aliens from Planet Gitaroo want the Gitaroo so they can rule the planet. I guess that's the story. Anyway, this is a tutorial. I don't want to do the practice because I know how to play. It's kind of boring anyway. That's the story.
This is too much.
And I'm gonna stop talking because we're entering the first level.
I'm Tempest, and I'm gonna chop you in half.
What's that?
It's kind of a Dragon Ball thing. Yeah, there's some references.
Are you the one they call Gitaroo Man?
What's that? What's he mean?
He ripped his skin! He ripped his skin! Oh, I'm so happy to be playing
What
this game.
happened?
You won!
Very best. This is the charge mode. I'm charging my HP. Look at my health bar. It's not full yet. This is how I get my health bar for the whole battle.
Chop you in half.
It's over, yeah, that's right.
Shake off that rust. That's his backup band. Dodge mode. This is when the enemy attacks. When the enemy attacks, that's when I can take damage. It's a rhythm part, so I gotta dodge all their lightning. And I'm attacking in return. We're gonna do this, boys. I don't want to eat no fucking crabs. Final. Let's finish this, bitch.
You're just a squirrel looking for an ale. You got any chops? What do you got? Come on, everybody! That's right, that's right. Heavy metal floor peddler, man! Nobody's getting no
Hell yeah. No crabs. Hashtag no fucking crabs in my fucking future. Alright, here it comes. Hold it up. Oh, you win.
You win.
Game sound is way too loud. Not loud enough, my friend. This is Gitaroo Man. So, rank B, okay, still a little rusty. Rank B is my average, okay? Both in Gitaroo Man and real life. In school, that was me. I'm about a B average student. I'm not the best. Some C's mostly, probably. B for bad. B for bad ass. B for not C, which is crab. What about the hot chicken flavored squid? I have that here too. It is here. Anyway, so that's Gitaroo Man. The essential breakdown of Gitaroo Man is this. Usually it starts off with a charge cycle, so you saw in the beginning. U1 has to gain his power to fight against whoever the baddie is. Then it's either a dodge, so the enemy is like attacking, and all I can do is hit the symbols on the screen and dodge out of the way. Then there's another attack cycle where I attack the enemy, and that's when you see those bars. I have to move the analog stick and then hit the circle at the very beginning of those bars, and then like gently move the analog stick to go along the line. That the longer I hold those notes sustained, the more damage it does to the enemy. So yeah, that's Panpius. He's the first boss. He's very easy, of course. The second level, the UFOs are really fun. And then it gets very hard from there. So anyway, that's 1/10 of the game right there. Gamers rise up. I will turn down the volume of the game just a hair. We're going to go to negative 8.2 decibels in case I do want to shout some shit out. But so far, no crabs. We're not going to save. No saves.
What are you doing, you won?
You won?
Pico.
Pico's the babe on Earth that he crushes on,
What are you doing? Practicing
There's
your
kind of like a
skateboarding
Silent Hill
moves?
2 thing that goes down.
You gotta be kidding me. You call that skateboarding?
Kazuya!
Kazuya's like his rival.
But Yuan told me he's an awesome skateboarder with a strict training
All right, we're going to
program,
skip
right?
ahead here. Let's get to the good shit. This is like one of my favorite songs in the game. Give me that green juice! Yeah. Bars for days! Shit! Full bar, boys. Let's get into it. Theremin. Try and one cycle this. There's about 3 potential cycles per boss. nailed it. I still nailed it. Those are the tough ones to nail because they're so close together. Alright. We're headed into the final. That's a 1 cycle.
Kuma! Oh no!
Get your fucking dog, you won! How's that stream going, guys? 60 frames.
You win.
Looks like I'm still alive. Okay. Everyone, somebody in the chat said, I'm downloading this ROM right now. That's good. Okay, let me read some chat here in between rounds. I've never played it. It looks cool, says one big fella. It is the best, most addicting rhythm game, in my opinion, okay? I know people love Parappa, but personally, I think Parappa's kind of trash because it doesn't give you instant feedback on whether or not you're doing good until the bars are done. And I just never, even on any LCD TV I've ever played Parappa on, I just cannot nail the beats. There's always something wrong. I have to go to a CRT. Personally, I like Jammer Lammy the best out of the Parappa trilogy. And I don't want to trash on Parappa. I do love the music in that game, and I love the sense of humor, but personally, I just feel like it plays like trash. Gitaroo Man has great music, great gameplay, and it makes me want to come back for more. By the time I'm done playing Parappa, I never want to play it again. And that's real. That's my real opinion on it. And the guy, I think his name's Dread Fox, who does Parappa's voice, is a douche in real life. Okay? There we go. Anyway, that was level 2 of Parappa. The next one is, or not level 2 of Parappa, level 2 of Gitaroo Man. The next level is Mojo King B, I think. This is the first level I ever played a Gitaroo Man. It came in a PlayStation Underground demo back in the day, and I hated it. I hated Gitaroo Man at first because I didn't understand it. Mojo's a really tough boss fight, too. I usually go 2 cycles. Let me explain the cycles real quick. If you don't get the boss to the final phase, like wherever you just lay the killing lines upon him, the killing riffs, it'll go into another cycle, which means there's another couple of dodges, another attack cycle, until you get them to the final phase, which changes up the music and the patterns a little bit. You want to get Mojo in the first cycle, otherwise his cycle 2 will eat you alive, okay? So there we go. Okay, you guys ready for this? So far, no crabs.
So, this...
All right, Mojo King B, a little jazz. A little blues, a little jazz.
Everybody, there's a new king in town.
Mojo, Mojo, Mojo,
King.
This is what made me fall in love with Guitar Man. Mojo King B here.
You want catch?
Again?
All right. There's another charge cycle after this battle. Hell yeah. Cool, man. Those hammer-ons. Oh yeah! I never nail that line, but I'm on my groove today. Final time, no crabs. guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. I never one-cycled Mojo King B. I never do that good. It's still probably a B.
You win.
It's still probably a B. But that was great. A! I ate Mojo King B. Wow. That was so cool. That's Mojo King B. One of the best songs in the game. There are a couple of stinkers in here, but Mojo King B is top tier. God, is it my favorite? No. Sandbone Trio is my favorite song in this game, but that's pretty close. That's like a close second. Yeah, so that's the first one I played. I do want to mention that this game came out in 2001, so it predated the whole craze of guitar games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band and all that. So there were no gimmicky peripheral controllers. This game is not possible to play with a Guitar Hero controller. I tried, but the one thing it requires is an analog stick to play. So if there's a Guitar Hero controller with an analog stick out there and I'm not aware of it, you could play Gitaroo Man with it, but this is one game, the only game that I would actually go out of my way to buy a dedicated controller for. So if they in Japan released a Gitaroo Man controller with like a spinning center to it, like where all the souls are, the souls of music are, I would fucking buy that in a heartbeat. Frogface, thank you so much for the super chat. What is a rhythm game? A miserable piece of music, but enough talk. Krabs at you. No, Krabs, please. Thank you so much. And that was a really clever super chat. I like that. I also like Symphony of the Night. Let's give some shout outs before I move on. Yes, Dred Scott did Knuckles theme in Sonic Adventure. Did he do the Pumpkin Hill Zone? Was that him? Pumpkin Hill? Got my mojo back, says I cuddled you. Mistress Dove's in here. What's up, Mistress Dove? The Gitaroo Man Grandmaster. I'm not the best. I will say this is only... there's two modes to Gitaroo Man. There's normal mode and there's master mode. And master mode is very unforgiving. Like, no room for errors. There's also a PSP Gitaroo Man that has a couple more stages. It's called Gitaroo Man Lives. I think I have it. I do have it. Let me get it real quick. Hold on. Let me go full cam for this one. This is Gitaroo Man Lives. So here's what I'm playing right now. This is Gitaroo Man on the PS2. Has by far my best. This is the best PS2 box art available because it stayed true to its roots. It didn't try and like put 3D renders on that shit. It actually made it over to America with its original anime design. So kudos to Koei for doing that. Anyway, that's that. And then I think this was 2006. So 5 years later, Gitaroo Man Lives, and once again has an amazing box art. It has like co-op versus play on it through ad hoc. But you have to play with the PSP's tiny little nub on there, and it has a terrible dead zone. I mean, it plays fine. It's a great game, but I prefer the intensity of the PlayStation 2. Okay, so you guys ready? We're going to move on to round 3, or round 4. We're on the 4th level now. What's up, Denzel? Which one is this? Is this the defense mode one? I think this is Ben K.
This isn't happening. This isn't happening.
Okay, this is Ben K. This is the worst level in the game. It's only defense mode. Are you ready? I hate this level. You'll see why. Okay, we're gonna retry. That's not a death, a retry, okay? That's not a crab. That's not crab worthy, okay? The input lag is pretty real on this part. Brutal. I hate this level so much. It's the worst. That is the worst level in the game. Oh my god.
You made it.
See, like, even though I did shitty in that, they expect you to do shitty. That's why I got a C ranking. Despite me, like, I missed 49 times. There's something about Ben K's level. So there's 2 Ben K levels, and they're honestly the 2 worst levels in the game. Mainly, you'll see why the second part sucks. That is the worst part because it requires pinpoint, like, no lag button presses, and that's very hard to do on an LCD TV. Yeah, I wish it was more fine-tuned, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is a short level, though. You saw all that shit flying on the screen. It was crazy. Okay, let me read some chat here. The PSP version does have 2 more songs, and it has, like, a co-op versus. Competitive Gitaroo Man tournaments. I would fail, okay? I would fail. I'm good enough to beat the game, which is saying something because I've introduced this game to a lot of my friends, and they just don't know what the fuck is going on. Crab says, "Last go get a..." I did do 1 retry there, but the reason for that was because, like, I had a very bad start. Like, this is a rhythm game, so I want to make sure I'm starting off on the right foot here. And, so, yeah. I allowed myself 1 mulligan. Okay? I made it. But yeah, if I died there, if I would have died at the very end, I would have eaten a fucking crab, but not yet, okay? This next level is kind of slow, and I don't like it because it goes on for way too long, and I don't think it's possible to one-cycle it, which is a problem. And there's too many charge cycles built into it, and it can go on potentially forever. You'll see what I mean. Mr. Greediest, that is a possibility. I do like this song because it has a theremin in it.
Let's do it, you want?
Get used to that.
Hey, you want? Behind you!
Alright, now we get our charge cycle. Space reggae with the theremin. It's impossible to follow these lines. So I can only nail the note itself, but following it, damn near impossible, even on tool assist.
Look over there!
Look over there.
better than the rest. Bad, I am better than the rest. I am wickeder than the rest. I'm thinking I may come to the maximum. Picking on the area, picking on the wrong tongue. Full of stamina and intelligence.
It takes so fucking long, this level, man. That's okay, we'll get through it. There's some good shit after this.
Time to stop running, you want? Go get him!
Beat that ass you want.
Look over there! I'm tired!
Come on! So close!
I'm tired!
Oh, come on, that would have been cool. Final! Let's do the final! Finals!
When me up to murderation, how that me I go do. When me up to murderation, how that me I go do. Me got me bad, badder than the rest. Me got me wickeder than the rest. Me got me bad, badder than the rest. Wickeder than the rest.
We did it! We did it! No crabs. The butt pat makes it worth it. You win!
You win!
Okay, so those two were my least favorite levels in the game. The first one is just endurance all throughout. There's no charge cycles. You're just on the defensive, and it goes by fast. Not as bad. Now, this level here, it's all right. The song is great. The concept is solid, too. I do like that you're going against... You're a theremin against a reggae shark robot that uses record scratches to attack you. So that concept is cool, but the level itself, like you saw in my attack cycles there, I have to nail the first note and then keep a needle on a jagged line straight, and it's really, really tough to do, especially on LCD. I'm not trying to be like LCD, but Ben K's level is just like the lines. You have to sustain a note for so long, and it only counts the first part, so it checks to see if you hit the note. If you hit the note, then it does the damage. It really doesn't matter how long you sustain the note. So in Ben K's case, you only have, a sparse amount of notes, and it's just stretched across a very long level, and they included extra charge cycles, so it's not very challenging. You just kind of have to hang with it. But it's a nice chill level in contrast to the defensive one. So I wouldn't completely cut it. I would just like modify it a little bit to be a bit faster, because it does go out. Anyway, let me say hello to those of you who are joining us. Mistress says, after all the previous levels, this feels a bit like Whiplash. Yeah, it's just kind of a chill level to give you a break. Let's see. This boss is a douche. Yes, he is. Mr. Shadow, are you going to get Space Channel 5 VR? I might. I'll probably get it on sale. Space Channel 5, I don't think it's a great rhythm game. I think it's a better game of Simon than it is a rhythm game. It was the first Dreamcast game I ever owned, so it holds a special place in my heart. But it's just brutal. It's just like unfair how, I don't know, how difficult the game is all throughout. You have to be on your A game all throughout. It doesn't give you any breaks. I think it's one of the hardest rhythm games ever made, for sure. But I'm curious to see what they do with it in VR. Anyway, so I'd say out of the 10 levels in Gitaroo, man, it has 2 bad levels. I believe what's next is the acoustic level, which is pretty good. So far, no crabs. Let's get to it. All right, we're gonna win a babe with our rendition of Wonderwall, our Japanese Wonderwall. I do like this level. It's very heartwarming. They call this the theme of love. There's no charge cycles. Attack that motherfucking heart, you won. There's them crabs! Oh no, foreshadowing! Woo! motherfucking dropper. You won right there. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I love that. The song of that, ironically enough, is called The Theme of Love. There's 2 renditions of it. So that one was the acoustic rendition, and then there's a more, there's like a rock off against Kira later on. So yeah, it's really good. So this next level is my favorite level in the game. Best song. On legendary mode, there's more layers to it, so there's like more instruments going on, and it gets very intense. I usually 1 cycle it, but if you 2 cycle it, there's just more instruments you have to face off against, so it's kind of like a reward if you manage to 2 cycle it. That previous level, by the way, the acoustic level, that is always a 1 cycle, so there's no there's a final built in, but you just have to get through all the riff. That's all. It's kind of survival, like Ben K, only fun. All right. A as in ain't no way I'm eating crabs today. Oh, we haven't even begun to get to the crabs. Anyway, I'm going to bust out. I got my Master Brew Kombucha. Some people would say this is just as gross as crabs, but I'm a kombucha guy. I'm kind of addicted to it, so I'm going to get a swig of this, and we'll get it going. Tickly. Okay, guys. Get ready for my favorite fight in the entire game, the Sandbone Trio. I'm gonna get hyped as fuck. I'm so hyped. This is the best.
What am I supposed to do, Puma? Just dodge, you won! Keep dodging! Finally! Help, Puma! Whoa! Puma! Help! Puma! Just pathetic. You won.
Okay, the worst is over.
Sorry for
Puma,
waiting,
Gitaroo!
you won. Puma, Gitaroo!
Gitaroo, man! Now it's on, motherfuckers!
Just in time.
That's rough. They want me to eat crabs and I ain't doing it! Final!
Go for
What
the
weak spots?
What weak spots?
Their weak
I
spots
forgot.
are, I forget.
Sandbone done. Oh my god. My fingers hurt, man. There's a lot of hammers in that one.
You won. I'm sorry I worried you.
Puma.
But hey, you did pretty well all by yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god.
You win.
Tally it up, guys. That's 134 great, 154 good, 113 okay, 51 misses. But there are more notes in that level than I think all the other levels. So, like, my fingers are just like dodging, nailing all those notes. And I feel good about a B. That is a very tough fight, but it is so rewarding. Like, it's one of the ones that I probably spent the most trying to learn because I love the song so much. There's a lot going on in there, of course. You heard, like, weird industrial crashes. You heard, like, one of those mouth picks, like, where it's like, wow, 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 wow. And then he's playing the xylophone on his ribs. I will put the Sandbone Trio up against any Parappa level. As far as, like, the most satisfaction you get from beating a level, the Sandbone Trio just tops it. I love that song so much. What you saw in there was, at the very beginning, U1 doesn't have his Gitaroo man suit on, so he has to dodge, and the dodge is pretty brutal. So it's kind of like a little bit of Ben K. Then the Sandbone Trio shoots a laser. They knock down Puma. Puma gives U1 Gitaroo man's powers. Then it's a charge cycle, and then that's all you get. You get that one charge cycle, and then it's just an endurance run, and I just love that level. So this next level, I like to call Miles is gonna eat some fucking crabs. It's against Gregorio the Third, and while I do love the song in it, I'm absolute dog shit. I would say the last level I'm even better at. Like, the last level isn't really that bad. This is the hardest level for me, okay? It's probably the first hardest level, the second being Ben K's endurance run. But this is really tough, so I'm going to hype myself up for it. I'm going to probably go ahead and tear open the crab bag. Let's just go ahead and tear it open just to get it prepared, because I know I'm going to lose. There we are. They call it the Tamago Gani. The Tamago Gani. I do like the design. I actually might need some scissors for this. Oh no, it's got a rip. And it's one of those ones, it's not a resealable bag, so you gotta commit to it. Let's give it a whiff. Dude, it smells like Old Cat's litter box on a summer day. Ugh. I don't want to lose. I just got the motivation to not lose this shit. Ugh. There's nothing appealing in there. No spices. It smells like fish food and a cat litter box. I don't want it. I don't want to eat this. We're going to try and win. I don't want to eat one of those fucking crabs. Hashtag no crabs. I'll throw them in the fucking backyard. Let the stray cats eat them. I'm not doing it. Oh. This is it. Let me get comfy. This is a rough fight. Here we go. Gregorio the Third. My nemesis. He's giving me the crab eyes. Oh God, no! No crabs!
Puma, this guy gives me the creep!
Pull yourself together! Believe in yourself!
Oh no! Not a good start. Not a good start at all.
You won! Take the offensive!
Roger!
Guys. Ugh. One more charge cycle, that's all I get. It's so particular.
Beauty is a sin!
Oh God!
Oh God!
Not feeling this one, guys. Not feeling it. Oh. Oh no. It's a close one. No! Oh no! This is it. Oh no! No!
Oh, you lose.
I knew it!
Mama,
You motherfucker!
I've done it again.
Oh no. I knew this was gonna happen. If you get off to a bad start in Gregorio the Third, there's no recovering. You have to nail every note. If you don't, you can't get to cycle 2. If you get to cycle 2, you're dead. One cycle, and I missed enough notes, so here we go. One crab. Let's find the tiniest crab. Tiniest crab. Oh no. Oh god. Give you a good old look at it. Ugh. Tiny crab. Okay. There he is. Focus. That's what you get for being a scrub. Oh, shit. Ugh. Ugh. Oh. There's some kind of like paste in there. Makes it stick to your teeth. Oh, fuck. Yep. That sure was a crab. I don't want to mess up again because that was not pleasant. Woo. Ugh. That's stuck in my teeth, dude. I'm going to have to brush 5 times after this stream. I can't even stand it. Ugh. Oh, my God. There, I can taste like bits of its shell on my tongue. It sounds like the backside of my tongue. Ugh. That was not pleasant. Okay, let's not do that again, please. I don't want to eat that whole bag. Gregorio, I hate you. Alright, get into it.
This guy gives me the creep.
Pull yourself together. Believe in yourself.
Not too bad, not too good.
You won. Take the offensive.
Roger.
Doing better. Doing better. Oh, that's so much better. Way better. way better than I normally do. It's a hard fight. Comes. Oh, the brutality! He always does this! Oh no! It's over. Crabs. Crabs again.
Oh, you.
I'm not gonna even give him the satisfaction. Not even gonna give him the satisfaction. Ah! Fuck! Oh! 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 Fuck you! Fuck you! Ah! 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 Oh!
Puma, this guy gives me the creep.
Pull yourself together. Believe in yourself.
Oh God, no! Okay. Still got another target.
One, take the offensive.
Roger.
I'm fine with that. Ugh. I need a drink. No, no, no. shit. Ugh. Made it to the final. We're not out of the weeds. We're not out of the weeds. Yeah! Only 2 crabs.
You win.
I don't feel like I've won. I don't feel like I've won. Ugh. Ugh. Anybody got any bubble gum out there? Preferably not crab flavored. Oh my god. So, confirmed. Crabs are the ultimate gamer food. I performed so much better after 2 crabs. What can I say? My full gamer endorsement. Crabs. You'll do better so you don't have to eat them again. Ugh. Let's talk about that battle. So, Gregorio the Third. It starts off with a half a charge cycle attack, another charge cycle. That's all you get. His attacks, so when you're in defense mode, the timing is so bizarre because you'll have all 4 coming at you, and you have to alternate between triangle and X, but the beat is like off a little bit. So you're just like ba 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 ba. Anytime there's like 4 of the symbols, it's fine. Where it's like ba 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 ba, that's okay. But his notes, you saw me like doing these crazy little picks, like wherever there will be like 3 beats, like do 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 do. Those are really hard to land, especially if you're trying to sustain the notes, because you're focusing on sustaining the notes. So holding the note, so it does a longer lightning cycle, but you also want to jump to hit the other notes. So I'm like alternating between circle and X, and it's not easy. Where you're gonna lose is if in the very beginning you don't get the full charge cycle, which is pretty easy to do because you got 2 attempts. But if you do not get him down, like if you're not hitting all your notes within the first cycle, and you're screwed, because if he gets to cycle 2, he unleashes a barrage of notes, and you just don't have enough HP to sustain it. So that's what you saw the first couple of rounds, is like, I didn't chip him away enough to get that final in the first cycle. And that's where, as they call in the gaming subconscious, they call that eating the crab. And I ate the fucking crab on those first 2 ones. But the third one, I felt better about. So now we got a showdown against Kira, and then we got the final boss, which is 2 phases. So 3 more levels. And they're not bad. I really do enjoy the last third of the game. Just 2 crabs. Improve my gaming performance.
Gitaroo man, I'm impressed.
Third crab's the charm. Not doing too hot on Kira. Okay, so that's the first half of the battle. I do like Kira's riff, but we're gonna do a Theme of Love reprisal.
Stand up, Gitaroo man. Why won't you fight?
I can't! You won! Attack her! Or she'll finish you!
Get up, Gitaroo man! Get up, get up, get up!
You won! Stand up!
I can't fight Kira! I just can't!
Gitaroo man, stand up, fight!
I won't! I won't fight you, Kira! The real enemy is Zoe!
No comment. Theme of Love time, boys and gals. Charging up. Get out your lighters! Wave them in the air! Let me see them vape clouds! Raise it up! You are the true Gitaroo man!
You are the true Gitaroo man.
It's just like one of my Japanese animes. Yes, I love that. That's the theme of love. Of course I love it. That was the Kira battle. It starts off as just a basic, dodge cycle, attack cycle. But in the first half, you don't get a charge cycle. Then the second half, whenever it's the theme of love reprise, like the more hard rock version, you get a charge cycle. And then it's just like the acoustic level from before, only they add a few more hammer-ons. I love that rendition. Like whenever I feel like when I'm down, I have that theme of love in my head. I don't know. I think it captures that kind of like summer vibe that a lot of J-rock captures and stuff like that. Coil in general, if you have the chance, listen to them on YouTube. They're a phenomenal J-rock band. Anyway, I love that song so much. Let's read some chat, and then we're going to get into the final bit here. Eat a crab for love, Miles. Sure. Well, I got 2. I don't think I'll be eating any more. I think I'm going to save them for the cats outside. I'm so glad I'm not allergic to shellfish. It's been a long time since I've eaten some shellfish, so I'm glad we found out together that I didn't have an allergic reaction. I might have had to run to get an antihistamine, but turns out I'm not allergic, so that's always good. Coil is the band. They're the band that did the theme of love in the intro song for Gitaroo Man, and I think they also did the last bit of the game too. Anyway, we'll finish up the game. We'll have a little bit of a chat. I guess I'll give you some of my opinions on the Joker movie and other things going on with the channel, talk a little bit about big dudes and all that, and we'll finish it up. Last battle against Zoe. It's a 2-cycle fight. Zoe's pretty hard. No spoilers, mistress. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. Better than that. It's gonna get rough. Those hammer-ons, guys, they suck. We're getting there. Salute, San and Sense. The last note, but that's alright.
The legendary Gitaroo.
Oh, my wrist. Ugh. The power of crabs compels me. That's a rough one. Count the notes, guys. Damn near 1,000 notes. I mean, it's not that. 246. Oh my. Okay, there's about 700 notes. That doesn't. Does that include dodges? I don't know. Yeah. My fingers hurt, but I made it through Zoe. He's the last boss fight. Zoe's kind of an easy fight because they afford you more charge cycles. But once you lock in there's like 3 phases. So once you get to phase 3, right before the final, they throw the hardest riffs at you. And then the final is the longest final. So you're just constantly hammering and trying to like get the beats ahead of time. And I don't know how to describe it other than I'm just like just tapping everywhere. So that's it for Gitaroo, man, unless you want to watch the ending. I don't want to spoil anything in the lore, but let me say hello, because I know some of you are just joining us. Hello, San and Sense. Yeah, U1 pulled this devil trigger. He busts out like the full Gitaroo man, the true Gitaroo man, whereas Zoe, he has like a fake Gitaroo, like a manufactured one. So that's why he needed all the spirits of the Gitaroo from U1. I guess that's how it goes. I'm not exactly sure. The Power of Crabs almost won. Not on the last bit of the game. Honestly, the Kira fight isn't too bad because it gives you a charge cycle in there. But Zoe, I've gotten to him one time on Legendary mode, and it's just brutal. Like, he hits so hard. I think it's like each hit takes 1/8 of your health bar away. So you're only afforded about 8 hits between, I don't know, 2 different bars. It's really rough. Let's see. Russell Me Poo. This looks way more creative than Guitar Hero. It certainly is. Certainly is. Too many notes, says Shadowhog. Yeah, too many notes. Hey, Grafo. Did you arrive too late? Yeah, I mean, like, the last bit of the level. I'll keep this up on the channel for a little bit here. You missed all the music. You missed the crabs. But I only ate 2 crabs. I only lost twice, so I had to eat 2 crabs. That's how it went. They were disgusting. They smell like fish food and kitty litter. They taste even worse because all the shells get stuck in your teeth like popcorn shells. So I still taste them on my back row, my molars. Not too thrilled about that, but hey, it could be worse. I didn't even dip into the squid. Maybe we'll save that for another stream, but I actually like squid. I do, so it won't bother me. I don't like the texture of these. Ugh. It was a rough one. I had a great time. Grotus, I agree. I should probably leave this one up. Typically, my cool streams, I leave unlisted. I put them in the playlist, the cool stream playlist, all my archives, so I don't clutter up the channel for anyone passing by. They're like, why does he stream all the time? It's been a hot minute since I've done a stream, and I didn't want to go through the motions of let's just do a horror stream because it's October. I usually do a really big review of one game for October, which I'm already working on, and I kind of didn't want to, shoot my load, as they say online. And it's kind of horror games. There are very few that are entertaining and that capture the feeling of the intended feeling of horror, because you don't get a sense of that atmosphere and stuff like that. And, the streamer will be too focused on chat, and it really takes away from the stream, I think. So I tend not to stream horror games. But Gitaroo Man is my absolute favorite rhythm game. It's always a pleasure to stream, and it's fantastic overall. Let's see here. San Incense, is this going to the cool stream playlist? It sure is. I'll leave it, I guess, public for about a week right before I release my next video. After my next video comes out, I'll just add it to the cool stream playlist so you can enjoy it if you want. Okay, so some of you, I can take these off now. Some of you might be wondering, what the hell is this PS4 Pro over here? I bought this off a couple of boomers, some really nice boomers, for a steal. This thing is I got it for almost 1/4, a little bit over a fourth of the price of a PS4 Pro. It's on a lower firmware. It's not on like 5.50, which is the golden one. It's on 6.20, which is exploited in private. So like all the modding teams are, they have a workaround for exploits so I can run homebrew and shit. Mainly, I got it so I can play PS2 games in HD. I want to take my library, my PS2 library. So let me give you a little context. This is my fucking PS2 library over here. It's my biggest library. It's my favorite system, of course. But the problem is, the PS2 that I'm playing with right now, the DVD drive is going bad, and that's happened before. Like, this is my... I've got a backup PS2, and what I do is I tend to take my own discs and rip them on my PC and then transfer them to the hard drive in the PS2, so I play through HD Loader. The problem is the PS2 doesn't have a really good solution for backwards compatibility or emulation unless you get a fat PS3 that's fully backwards compatible, like the first generation. So I have that, but it just yellow lighted of death because I was running some Unreal scripts on it so I could hack Shadows of the Damned to do no clips, so I could go behind the scenes and check out all the hidden stuff from Kiriyami. Anyway, my fat PS3 yellow lighted of death, so that was like where all my PS2 HD kind of clips went. The PlayStation 2 emulator, the PCS X2, is good, but it's not perfect, so it doesn't nail a lot of the library. Come to find out, the PlayStation 4, this one right here, all PlayStation 4s, they do have some PS2 titles that you can get on the store, and they play perfectly. Like my Dark Cloud review was all captured from my PS4 Pro, and it can up-res up to 4K, which is nice. And some of them have trophy support and all that, and you can play with the PS4 controller. Mark Cerny, the engineer for the PS4 and I think the PS5, he designed that emulator. So it's like the most faithful emulator out there. However, Sony stopped releasing games like PlayStation 2 classic games. It's like, I want to say it's like 1/10 of the size of the PS3's PlayStation 2 classic. So my goal is to hack that PS4 Pro to run so I can inject my own PlayStation 2 games on it and then play more PS2 games in HD, and then just have all my library in one consoleized spot. So it's a waiting game. I'm waiting for the exploit to become public, and there's rumors that exploit's going to come out around the time of Death Stranding. So once Death Stranding hits, or The Last of Us 2 hits, Sony will release the 7.0 firmware, which means the 6.20 firmware will be exploited, hopefully, but sometime it'll happen. And I'm just because I know I cannot depend on Sony to release a PlayStation 2 emulator for the PS5 or disc compatibility. Sony just drags their asses on preserving the legacy of their titles, and it makes me sad because the PlayStation 2 is my favorite console. Anyway, talk about the Joker movie. I'll get into that here in a minute. Anthony Birch Fan Club. Have you done an Illbleed stream yet? I haven't, but my good friend Kirk Almighty, who co-starred with me in my last Halloween special, he did a Illbleed stream last Halloween. Not a bad idea. I just got what they call an SD card reader. It's a GDEMU. I think it's called something drive emulator. Basically, I replaced the CD drive in my Dreamcast with an SD card reader, and I 3D printed like a custom housing for it. So I have all my Dreamcast library on an SD card, so that's nice. I would love to do an Illbleed stream. I'd like to do something like a Brainless Randy run. Brainless fucking Randy, man. He has no adrenaline, and you're just getting hit with trap after trap. I might have to do that sometime. Silent Hill games don't emulate too great on PS3. No, they don't, Oakland. Silent Hill 3 does all right, but I saw there's a German guy on YouTube that has a hacked PS4, and he has Silent Hill 2, 3, 4, Origins, and Shattered Memories, and he went through all of them, and they look great. They didn't have any of the graphical glitches that you might find on the PS3 side of the emulator. And there's also some configs that some users have written to make them more compatible. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most, being able to play Silent Hill 3 in HD, not a butchered HD collection version by Hijinks. Fuck that. Hikiko, was a video with eating Master's Flesh from PS2 on PS4? No, that was... I think you're talking about Pandora's Tower, and that was from the Wii. That's Pandora's Tower for the Wii, a game I want to talk about sometime. They patented emulation of PS1, PS2, and PS3 probably for PS5 backwards compatibility. Mr. Greedius, I haven't heard anything about that. I think here's the issue. Sony really fucked up with the PS4 generation. Like, there's some solid titles, and I think the PSVR is like the best thing they've got going for them right now. But they showed their hand. They got a little greedy, and instead of like putting a solid PS1 emulator on the PS4, they did the PlayStation 1 Classic, and that thing was a total nightmare. It's not a nightmare if you hack it and inject your own ROMs. It's a decent like Raspberry Pi equivalent, but beyond that, it's sold terribly. I think you can get them for like $20 right now, or at least at their very lowest you could. Really, this is all you need right here. PlayStation TV. Far better deal than the PlayStation Classic, because you got PSP, PS Vita, and PlayStation 1, as well as like PSP minis. And I think you can do remote play with PS4 on there. So like if you got PlayStation Now, you can do that. So that's what I recommended. Here's the funny thing. Like, I got in a big argument with some guy. I think it was at work, or it was on this Facebook group I'm a part of. Like, when the PlayStation Classic first came out, he was just like, oh, this is easy for me. This is easier for people who don't know how to emulate and do all that. I'm like, you can watch a YouTube video in 15 minutes, hack a PlayStation TV, and get it up and running. And by the way, that same dude who was bitching about how hard it was to hack something also hacked his PlayStation 1 Classic because he was so dissatisfied with paying $80 for a piece of shit hardware. So, whatever. Getting in arguments over stupid shit like that. Anyway, so I did go see the Joker movie. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I will recommend it straight out of the gate. I went to an adult theater. I'll talk more about the experience of going to see it, more so than the actual movie, but I've come to find, and I think I told this in my last stream, the more mainstream theaters, like the more like bigger chains that don't have policies of kicking out people for being noisy, I won't even bother going to those anymore. It's just because I've had so many bad experiences like going to the bigger chains. And Kansas City itself, I believe AMC, the headquarters, is around here. All their chains are all right. They're a tad pricey, but there's a couple other major chains over here. They suck. So I actually went to an adult theater that has like, you know, a full service bar, some good food, and it's all adults, no kids, and they have a talking policy. So it was phenomenal. And The Joker is one of those movies where you want everyone to kind of be quiet so you can really invest yourself into the drama going on. And everyone was respectful, and it was a broad crowd. Like, I had a bunch of elderly people in there, and here's the thing. It's usually the elderly people, the boomers, that are the ones that are talking and describing the shit they're seeing on the screen with no filter. Like, their hearing aids are off, they can't hear their own commentary, and they're speaking at 50 fucking decibels in the middle of a serious part. That's been my experience. So I went Friday night. It was a late showing, so I went to around like 9:30, and it was very, very good. I had low expectations because I think it's just because I've been through the gauntlet of Marvel movies. And like, I'm never excited to go see a Marvel movie. I generally only go because a friend invites me, or because, like, you know, maybe it ties into another Marvel movie that I like Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. Like, maybe I'll go there. But really, the main difference between Joker or DC and Marvel with their choices as of late is that the Joker actually made me feel something while I was watching it. And that's more than I can say about any the last 10 Marvel movies. I felt nothing. And I'm a very emotional person. Like, I do like a great story that follows somebody going through some terrible series of events. The more downer, the more bummer a movie is, I'll tend to love it. I just like something that makes me feel for a character and makes me want to know what's going to happen next. And I generally don't feel anything when I watch our Marvel movies. Like, when I watch The Avengers, like, yeah, you know, I'll laugh every once in a while because of a quip, but there's just too much going on. Like, a Marvel movie is sensory overload. There's too many characters, too many plots to follow, and CG nonstop. It's just like a brain puke for me. And I can't, like, I don't care if you like it. You can like it. You can enjoy it. No problem with that. But for me, it's just like, I don't see the artistry. I don't see the auteur's vision. I don't see the director's voice coming through at all. I see a giant studio filled with like 3,000 CG animators in China or just somewhere, and there's not a personal touch, and everything just feels canned and quippy. And I guess some people like that. They're like, oh, it's more like a comic book. But to me, I don't like that. I like something that breaks the mold, and the Joker is one of those movies. And the Joker really hasn't been treated with respect, I guess you could say, since Heath Ledger's performance. But, you know, I went back and I watched The Dark Knight, and everyone, you know, here's the thing. And they hate me for my opinion on Heath Ledger's Joker, but I feel like he is given the Brandon Lee treatment. And Brandon Lee, if you don't know, was the protagonist in The Crow, which is a fantastic comic book movie, but it deviates enough from the comics, and it's not as comic booky. It's more of like a dark, grimdark horror drama. But the tragedy that happened during The Crow was Brandon Lee was killed during the production of that movie. So it has kind of like this haunting aesthetic, this haunting quality about it. Like, there's death that surrounds it. It permeates the atmosphere when you watch The Crow. So it kind of adds something to it. And The Crow also has like that mid-90s like butt rock theme song. You got like Alice in Chains in there, but you also have like Nine Inch Nails with their Joy Division cover. And then you have one of the best Cure songs of all time, Burn. So like The Crow has like a better aesthetic going for it. Like, there's a real director's vision behind it. It's dark, it's rainy, it's a great noir, and the soundtrack pays into what's going on. Ernie Hudson kills it. Like, I love The Crow. I would say The Crow is one of the best comic book movies. Then, like, The Dark Knight comes out, and of course, Heath Ledger dies just after production. I think it was just after they had shot all of his stuff. Like, they had a couple of reshoots they wanted to do, but they couldn't get to it. Dies of a pill overdose. And the thing is, like, if you're comparing the two death stories, I feel more sorry for Brandon Lee because he had absolutely no involvement. It was a misfire of a prop gun because I think it was like the supervisor for the prop department was out and a substitute came in, and they didn't double check, and one of the blanks got jammed, and it shot Brandon Lee in the abdomen and killed him. And so I feel like if I'm comparing the two tragedies, my sympathies go with Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was based, and he had like a full career ahead of him. Heath Ledger was already on like a downward slope. He had nowhere to go but down, but The Dark Knight elevated him, and it saved his career. Nobody ever talks about the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus or whatever it was. That trash movie. So, like, The Dark Knight itself, Heath Ledger is, of course, the best part of that movie. The rest of it is pretentious, terribly written Christopher Nolan garbage. Like, wherever it comes off as it's smarter than it actually is, and we're elevating this genre, we're elevating the comic book genre to a much more crappy dialogue and pretentious huffing its own fart, and check out my Lucius Fox scanning technology and the ethics of wiretapping, and it gets into so many stupid places. Like, nobody ever talks about their favorite part of The Dark Knight is when Christian Bale goes to Tokyo for a very long period of time. What they want is Heath Ledger chewing the scenery, and I think there needs to be another re-edit if they've got any more footage of Heath Ledger in there to cram that. Just cram all of it. Just have outtakes of Heath Ledger practicing on set. Put that in there, and The Dark Knight's a far better movie. Christian Bale, like, I love him as an actor. I love him in American Psycho. I love him in, I think it was The Boxer or something like that. That was a great movie. The Machinist, great. Like, he's a fantastic actor, and he's definitely the highlight whenever he's in a movie, but they don't give him much to do as Bruce Wayne, and I think that's a big problem. So if you're going to go ahead and have a clash between hero and villain, he's really not the best portrayal of it, I guess. The Dark Knight Rises, I only like for the memes, okay? Bane is probably the best part. Tom Hardy is the best part of that. Batman Begins, I can't even give Liam Neeson the benefit of the doubt. He's not that great as Raj Al Ghul. Talia al Ghul in The Dark Knight Rises is absolutely terrible. She really takes away from the whole movie just because her acting's so hammy. Catwoman is underutilized and given really nothing to work with. The Nolan Batman trilogy is a tragedy. It really is. I honestly prefer Batman Forever. I'd rather sit down and watch the fucking cheesy-ass Joel Schumacher comic-y Batmans over the Nolan trilogy. That's all people know it for. So, now, if we're jumping ahead a decade, there was another Joker in there. We had a small cameo Joker from, what's that 30 Seconds to Mars guy? What's his name? What's 30 Seconds to Mars guy's name? I don't even know. He's so underutilized in Suicide Squad. Jared Leto, thank you. My girlfriend from offstage there. Jared Leto's Juggalo Joker. Like, okay, I know why they did it. They wanted to kind of, it looks like, what do they call it? The Ed Hardy? Yeah, you know the designer Ed Hardy, like wherever, it's got a very Spanish-infused design, like with the skulls and the embroidery and stuff. Like, I could see what they were going for with that version of the Joker. The shaved eyebrows is a little kind of creepy, but the face tattoos was a little much. And I heard that Suicide Squad was a victim of the editing table, so the chopping block there. And there were parts of Suicide Squad I actually enjoyed. It was funny, and there's some good action in there. But once again, it falls victim to too many characters on the screen, and Will Smith coming in there, taking control of the entire production, saying, I want Deadshot to be a sympathetic villain. I gotta be a sympathetic villain, and I gotta have a few quips in there, and he's doing it all for his daughter. He's not a mass killer. He's doing it for his daughter. He's a good dad. Will Smith ruins every fucking movie he's been in for the past 20 years. And I think that's the problem with Suicide Squad. Will Smith refused to put on the mask. Everyone knew who he was, and that was the problem. I'll take Dark Knight Rises over Suicide Squad for sure. Killer Croc, by the way, underutilized. He was the best story arc in Suicide Squad. I wanted to know more about Killer Croc's story about trying to get BET in jail. Very simple plot to follow. Love Killer Croc. And then snap forward to today. Joaquin Phoenix, the Woker, or the Joker. I loved it. Joaquin Phoenix, he's great at playing a lonely, tortured soul. There's another good movie, if you want to see some good Joaquino, Her, Her, Her. It's kind of like an AI relationship. I believe there's another movie similar to that, but it stars Ryan Gosling called Lars and the Real Girl. They kind of are very similar, but Her, very worthwhile. Watch it. Joaquin Phoenix, he's kind of like our Daniel Day-Lewis of our time, since Daniel's retired now. Disappears into the character. Same thing for Joker. Disappears entirely into him. You're gripped more by the character study, if you will. You're gripped more by the drama than you are about the connections to the comic. So it's a good movie on its face without all the DC universe shit. And that's why I truly enjoyed it. Because you can go in not knowing anything about the DC universe and enjoy it on its face as a standalone film. And that's about as far as I'll go into explaining the Joker. Go out, see it. You'll have a good time. I know there's a lot of fudders out there. There are a lot of detractors saying it's not as good as Heath Ledger. They're not really comparable. Different directors, different vision. The director, by the way, Todd Phillips, he directed one of my favorite documentaries of all time, G.G. Allen. Hated G.G. Allen and the Murder Junkies. Required watching. If you want to understand more about Todd Phillips, watch Hated, G.G. Allen and the Murder Junkies. Don't eat anything while you're watching it. Okay, highest recommendation. This is the first film that Todd Phillips actually had a hand in every decision. Because beforehand, for the past decade, here's what Todd Phillips has been making. The Hangover trilogy, and he also made Old School. So he's been making more of the frat house Will Ferrell comedies, and then he comes out and he makes a very great drama. So watch it. It's fantastic. It'll keep you at the edge of your seat all throughout. The soundtrack, by the way, even if you don't like the movie, you'll walk away loving the soundtrack. Okay? That's my little Joker piece there. I'm going to read some chat, and I'll get out of here. Sorry, I had a crab in my throat. I'm sorry. It's been a little bit since I've read chat. I got into a rant there. Kirk's Illbleed stream is great, but not very long. He only does a few levels. Yeah. It was Halloween. And I guess, he was testing out the 4K emulators, what he was doing at the time. I would like to get a PS4 the moment I know it can become a PS2 machine. It won't be too long. If you're interested in that, I would recommend buying a cheap PS4. Look on eBay. Try and find one. There's a good serial number checker out there on Reddit or something. Just look at Deep Dive PS4 Homebrew. Our PS4 Homebrew. It'll tell you what you need to know. Let's see. Is the PSTV hackable? It is. The Vita is also very hackable, yes. The Catwoman suit in Rises is garbage, yeah. It doesn't hold a candle to Michelle Pfeiffer. Or Halle Berry. I would even go as far as to say Halle Berry had a better Catwoman suit than fucking Anne Hathaway's. Let's see. Requiem for a Dream was an amazing film. I haven't seen that yet. Don't kill me for saying that. I cannot wait to see Joker with my grandmother. She might actually like it. Because it's a period piece. It takes place in the late 70s, so there will be some stuff in there that she'll enjoy. I saw a lot of elderly people at my screening, and they enjoyed it. Usually when they don't enjoy it, they'll let you know when the credits hit. I went to go see the Florida Project once, and there was a boomer in the front row. And the Florida Project is kind of like one of those pretentious art house films. And this boomer said, it was really quiet at the end of that movie because there's a really dramatic scene. and it got quiet when the credits hit. He stood up and he goes, "Well, that was the worst film I've ever seen." And it was super loud, and it was like filled with a bunch of like bohemian hipsters, and they were all pissed off at the boomer, but I did laugh at that. Gotta buy Rogue Corps for some budget multiplayer goodness. Oakland, I'll give it a shot. Contra Rogue Corps, I'll give that a shot soon. Yeah, crab got my tongue. Let's go get a nice one. Hey, Deadware. All right. Shout outs to everyone. I think I shouted everyone out at some point. Thanks for showing up to this Gitaroo Man stream. I'll leave it up for about a week until my next video hits, and then it'll be in the Cool Stream archive. You can go back there and watch me eat crabs forever. Thanks for the super chat, Frogface. Go check out his channel. And with that, I'll see y'all later. Take care.